Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you may be listening to us across the entire globe. It's Psychic Talk here on the Psychic Talk Network. That's right. Our daily shows, and we're here in the cafe, psychic.cafe. That's our new community website. Come on in the cafe, pull up a chair, grab your coffee and tea, hang out with us. And I see people are already in the chat. Meta Crazy, Heart Chakra Medium, Dan Metheny, our moderator. I always forget that word, Dan. You know, it's like, I just don't like that word for some reason. We need a better name, like Usher or something. You know, it's like he's one of our ushers, you know, one of our moderators in there. Yes. And Charlotte's in there too, another one of our moderators. Greetings, cafe peeps, she says. Hi, Charlotte. Hey, you know, we should change the name of the shows to Ask Dax Anything or something like that, right? Yeah. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Oh, we already have callers on the phone lines on Blog Talk Radio. Hey, for those of you that don't know, that are new to the show, we are simulcasting on radio and live video streaming on YouTube at the same time. Of course, that's what a simulcast means. That's what simulcast actually means. Yes, we are live video on YouTube. And so if you're listening to us audio only, I suggest you open a new tab in your browser, type in psychic.cafe/live. And that's good for any day of the week, just like our phone number. You can write that down because it's good every day of the week. Yeah, I got my Trust Me, I'm a Jedi shirt on, Charlotte, just for you. Yep. So write that down. It's psychic.cafe/live. That'll always take you to the live for that day on YouTube. And you can join us in the chat and you can watch the show. And we're also on the radio, and we have 50 caller lines. So feel free to call in 714-816-4628. You can just call in and listen to the show. Maybe you don't have access to Wi-Fi right now or something. We got a lot of lines. It's okay. You can call in. However, if you want to be live on air with me, press 1 on your keypad as soon as you get through. So that's 714-816-4628. Then press 1 when you get through. And so if you're watching me on YouTube and you're in the chat, I'd love to chat with you on the phone line. That would be great. 714-816-4628. If you forget the number or anything that I'm giving out right now, it's down here in the scroll on the video. Right. In fact, coming up right now is grab us a cup of coffee. That's our tip jar. Grab us a cup of coffee, and you can see right there, www.psychic.cafe/coffee. So it's just psychic.cafe/coffee. If you're enjoying these shows, you want to help us keep the lights on. Yes. And there's the phone number. The phone number will also be scrolling by. So that's our tip jar, psychic.cafe/coffee. Maybe you are learning things on these shows. You know, we drop a lot of knowledge bombs. People ask questions about, you know, different things in tarot and numerology and psychic development, law of attraction, hypnosis. That's right. We got everything covered pretty much. So just ask your questions, and maybe you got something great out of that. Maybe you got a great reading, you know, and you want to send us some love. Psychic.cafe/coffee. But that's also the way you jump to the top of the list. That's right. I will take your call or your question in chat first. No waiting. I mean, we'll go right to your question. And not only that, we'll spend more time with you. That's right. So that's the secret way to do it. Just go over to our coffee page, psychic.cafe/coffee. Grab us a cup of coffee in the chat here on YouTube. Say, hey, I just bought you a cup of coffee. We'll take your question right away. Or if you're on the phone lines, go over to psychic.cafe/live, get into that chat on YouTube and say, hey, it's Jim. My phone number is or my area code 619. I just bought you a cup of coffee. And then, yeah, we'll bring you right on again. No waiting. That's something new we kind of started for 2024, along with doing shows every single day. That's right. We're here every day. And yes, we are here for you to ask, your life questions and things along those lines. But also, we're here to answer your questions about tarot and numerology and all the topics we talk about, plus the guild. You might have a question about becoming a member of the guild, you know, especially if let's say you work in, I don't know, animal communication, astrology, numerology. Let's say you don't do tarot, can I still join the tarot guild? Yes, you can still join the tarot guild. It's a guild for everything psychic now that we have psychic.cafe, our community website. It's like Facebook, only without all the negative stuff and ads and distractions, and it's all psychic stuff all the time. That's right. And maybe you have questions about getting certified. Maybe you have questions about becoming a professional tarot reader or psychic advisor. Um, you might have, oh gosh, you might have questions about building your business, about becoming a host on the Psychic Talk Network. We've been broadcasting for 14 years now. We're in our 15th year. So it's more than just, pulling cards, hanging out, and everybody's life questions. You can ask a lot of other things. And yesterday, oh my God, so many great questions, that weren't just the ordinary, life, jobs, career, relationships, boyfriends, girlfriends, spouses, love triangles, all that stuff. We do that too, but man, there was some great questions yesterday, some interesting stuff that we got to talk about. That's why it's worth going back and listening to these lives. A lot of people, they don't listen to lives, unless they're joining them live and they watch it, and that's it. They won't go back in the archive and watch a live. But so many things can be learned by watching these shows. Lots of knowledge bombs throughout. I wish I had somebody like we need a producer taking notes and marking down the time and everything like that, so we can put in little markers in the show notes. It's like, click here and go to 4 minutes 32 seconds when we were talking about describing the page of wands or something like that. It'd be really cool. Maybe when we're rich and have a staff, we have to get monetized first. That would help. That would help. Hey, what is going on today? Let me know in the chat what's up and everything like that. Who's coming in? Oh, Boomika's in here. Paul Freed, I think that's new. Welcome aboard, Paul. Nick's in here. Nick's back. One of our lifetime members. Heart Chakra Medium is back. Charlotte's in there. Dan's in there. Am I missing anybody? Meta Crazy's in there. Oh, Venita. Venita. I love that name. Then I thought of Venetian blinds just instantly, But Venita also reminds me of Vente, 20 in Italian, which is the 20-ounce cup at Starbucks. Yeah. I want a Vente latte. It sounds so, romantic, and all they're saying is, yeah, I want a 20-ouncer. Benita says, hello, world and everybody. Why is John acting so strange towards me? Okay, well, we will get to your question. By the way, Vanita's doing it the right way. If you scroll all the way to the top of the chat, I explain it right there. Type your question here in the chat or ask us to pull a card for you. You can also call into the show, 714-816-4628. Remember to grab me a cup of coffee if you want to jump the line, but you have to let me know in the chat. Another way to do it is after the show. You can go over to psychic.cafe/coffee and buy me a cup of coffee and then message me on the website, Psychic Cafe, www.psychic.cafe. Go to my page, which is /Dax, real easy. Or you'll see me, any posts that I've done, you'll see my picture. You just click on it, it'll take you to my profile, and then you can message me on my profile and say, hey, I just grabbed you a cup of coffee. It's Joe, area code 602. And yeah, I'll be calling in tomorrow. And guess what? You'll be first. You'll be the first caller, and no waiting. We'll go right to you. We'll skip the numerology of the day, the cards of the day, the introductions, the chat. We'll skip everything, go right to you. That's how you do it. Psychic.cafe/coffee. Speaking of that numerology of the day, it is the 5th. So we're back to that 5 energy. Creativity, it's change in numerology is what 5 is. It's high energy, but it can devolve into chaos really quickly. But also the entire date reduces to, let's see, 3rd month, 5th day, that's 8. World year numbers 8, that's 16. So 1 plus 6 is 7. The seeker today, the seeker energy. So we have the seeker energy and we have the chaos energy, or I don't like to dwell on the negative side. There's 2 sides to, every tarot card. There's 2 sides to every number in numerology. In fact, it's a spectrum of meaning and possibilities, really. So, the positive part of 5 is lots of energy. It's the day where you go ride the roller coasters, go see a great movie, get lost in a book, spa day, things like that. It's not the heavy day, where you sign contracts, buy new furniture or appliances or a car or a house or whatever. Nothing big today. Don't get married. Yeah. Try not to have the kid, make them wait another day. Just kidding. Just kidding. Like you could do that, but yeah, don't do the big things on 5 days. Don't sign contracts. It's Tuesday, so probably people are not starting a new job, thank God. Yeah, don't start a job on the 5 day. No, this is the day to enjoy yourself and go out there and everything and just hang out and stuff. Queen of Swords is the card of the day. Let me get that in there. And I never can get it focused right. There we go. Queen of Swords. And I know some people were asking me, why do you do that? When you're talking about the card of the day and you go like this, it's because YouTube, the algorithm, the artificial intelligence will actually find that image when you're like showing something. And so when the replay is ready to go out and when it's alive, it's not available till like the next day for some reason. I know it has to be processed, but maybe an hour or two, but not the next day. But yes, they make you wait till 24 hours later. And then what happens is it'll populate, give you like 3 or 4 different choices for a thumbnail, which I can just create the thumbnail because I have a recording of these shows. So, I can just bring that up and take a picture. But I've discovered this and how much easier it is. So when I'm doing the card of the day, I just freeze there for a second, and then the next day when I go to the replay of the video, it in the edit section, it'll have those available, and I'll find the one where I'm holding the card up and click it, and boom, thumbnail, and then I'll go out on social media and say, hey, replay of yesterday's live, and put it out, and it'll have that image. And it just saves me a step. I don't have to pull out the Photoshop to make a thumbnail for the live and everything like that. Yep. So everybody knows this card because it comes up a lot. Or at least it has been coming up a lot. And swords are thoughts and ideas. So, she's often saying, hey, take an analytical approach to whatever's going on. Try to not rely on your feelings, and it's funny because a lot of times we're saying the opposite. So it depends on what's coming up. uh if we're getting certain cup cards, it would be the opposite. It'd be like, listen to your gut feelings, like the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups and things like that. Listen to your gut instincts and listen to your emotions, and go with your heart and all that kind of stuff. Well, when the Queen of Swords shows up, especially as a card of the day, it's like, let's try to think rationally about this and not be all tied up in our emotions and make a rational decision, which is actually really, really important on a 5-day. Yeah, that chaotic energy I was talking about. We can really screw things up if we just, we're not in our head, we're in our heart, and we just, go for things. And that's why I said don't sign the contracts on a 5-day. So yeah, think rationally and analytically today, right? um Also, it's kind of talking about, just going for it. She's got the sword, right? It's like, cut off the Hydra's head, boom. Just, it's like, deal with problems quickly and swiftly, just, no hesitation on, you know, um, speak your mind, you know, basically, don't be afraid to be a bitch today. That's right. Express your ideas. Swords are thoughts and ideas. Express those ideas. Tell people what you really think. Don't, the unvarnished truth. That's a good old saying, the unvarnished truth. um and if you have something, if you have a thought or idea, if you have a vision for something or a project you want to start or whatever, the Queen of Swords showing up says, go for it, with confidence. Just bring it forward. Speak your truth. Anyway, that's the card of the day. Woo-hoo. Really cool. Oh gosh. Yeah, sometimes it's strange when you get court cards as the card of the day. I don't mind it myself, but some people are like, "Ah, you know what I mean?" Hey, there's a phone call. I'm going to go to the phone lines real quick here. Area code 860. Don't want to keep them waiting longer. Area code 860. Can you hear me? Are you there?
Yes.
Hi, what's your
Can you hear
name?
me?
Yes, I can. Now there's a slight
Hi,
delay. So we might end up talking over each other. I apologize for that. I try to explain that in the beginning of the shows, that for some reason there's like this few second delay on Blog Talk. And so like I'll I'll start talking after I think someone else stopped talking, but they haven't stopped talking, or I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about, where we like end up talking over each other and everything. So I just wanted to explain that to everybody that's going to be calling in and all. So what's your name, caller? Where are you calling from?
My name is Lisa. I'm calling from Connecticut.
Connecticut.
How are you?
Great, Lisa. What's going on with you?
Yay.
What do you want to chat about?
I'm wondering if you could help me with what the heck is going on with me.
I'm sorry, that is beyond my ability to. No one can help you.
Darn it.
Just kidding.
Oh.
You are beyond help, Lisa. I'm telling you. My God.
Okay, well, I've heard that before.
It's like, okay, I'm getting the Tower card and the Death card, and you should just give up now. Just give up now.
Are you getting those cards for me?
No.
Oh.
I haven't even shuffled yet. I'm picking up the deck to shuffle.
Just when you thought your week was going to hell, he tells you this.
Exactly. Well, we're just trying to get you warmed up there. I don't know. But so what is it that's going on, and what do you want to know about it is the big question. What do you want to know?
Oh, is there anything I can do to improve things? Because everything is falling apart, and I'm just like, what is happening?
Woohoo! So are you talking career, romance, interpersonal relationships, friends, family, home life? What's going on?
Health and just doctors being jackasses. And
Have
I'm
you
not
noticed
getting
that?
any help. Huh?
Well, they always say get a second opinion. In the medical field, you actually have to get about 5 opinions because there are so many quacks. Let me tell you. Oh my God. Unbelievable.
Let me tell you, I actually got in trouble because they have this thing called My Chart for booking a second opinion. And now they're refusing to do a major test on my pancreas. They have to go internally and do an ultrasound and a biopsy.
Mm-hmm.
And they are refusing to treat me because I made an appointment for a second opinion.
What? Well, I mean, I guess that
I'm
makes
not, I kid you not.
sense. I guess it makes
The
sense if
message.
you're supposed to get the
Like,
second. Well, hold on, Lisa. If you're supposed to get the second opinion first before the testing, that makes sense, though.
no, I've seen the MRI. I need the test, but the appointment was booked 2 months later. It's booked for 2 months after I'm supposed to get this test, and so now they're
Okay.
refusing to treat me, and I'm beside myself. I don't know what to do because this is like scary, dangerous, like die thing kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they said she's got another doctor. We're not going to treat her. I was like, what? I said, that's a second opinion. It's on the other side of the state. I'm not even going there. It's a virtual appointment for him to look at my record and say, yeah, yep, you need to do that.
Hmm. Okay. Taking a sip of coffee. When I cut the deck in half and got what I call the heart of the matter card, I got the King of Swords.
Wow.
And the King of Swords represents physicians. That's one of the things it represents. Typically a surgeon. It could be any kind of doctor, but it's a sword card. So, thinking of surgery, and then the Ace of Swords shows up. Interesting. So that's a new opportunity, new idea. The Devil card shows up, and that's our attachments. What are we attached to? You're attached to things happening a certain way with this, and I think that could be part of what is blocking you here. Now, this is really interesting, though. Right after that, I get like all the success cards. I get the 9 of Cups, which is the dream come true card. I get the 6 of Wands, which is literally the success card. And then I get the 10 of Cups, idyllic family and home life. So, it looks like things turn out pretty good. However, I think the key is because the King of Swords showed up as literally the heart of the matter card, that it's just going to require you, I don't know, the Ace of Swords suggests coming up with a different idea. And the Devil card says, okay, you're attached to it happening a certain way, getting through to the physicians, the medical people, a certain way, and there's a different way of doing it, a different idea. You need to be talking to the King of Swords. You need to be talking to the physician and ironing this out. And there's either there's either a way that you're unaware of or a way that you're aware of but unwilling to go down that path. And that's what you have to do.
Removing my pancreas. Removing my pancreas.
Okay. That's the surgery aspect of it. But I'm talking about, all these issues you're having with them and the second opinion thing and all that. And you got to get that ironed out, that, hey, this was just what it is, and that requires directly talking to the doctor, and I don't know how you
I'm trying.
Yeah.
When they won't let you through, when they don't let you through, and they don't call you, and they just send you my chart messages that we're not opening you.
Well, then
it's just
there are other ways. There are other ways, and I don't know what that is, Lisa. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. You're going to have to figure that out on your own. But it's not just finding the other way. It's the fact that you're hesitant. You don't want to do it. I can tell it in your voice. You're coming up with excuses. You're coming up with other things, different stuff. Oh, they send me my chart messages. They won't let me talk to the doctor. That's an excuse. That's not finding the way around those people to the doctor. Okay. So I don't know what the answer is, Lisa, but I'm going to throw out a couple of things just to give you an example of what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you do this. I'm not saying you do this. I'm just saying that there are things you're not seeing. And that's what I'm getting from the cards and what I'm getting from my gut intuition. Okay. So they won't let you talk to the doctor. The man or the woman has to leave the building at some point. You stand there in front of the frickin' door until the frickin' doctor comes out of the frickin' office. And you grab them and say, hey, I'm Lisa so-and-so. I've been trying to contact you for the last 10 days. Your staff won't put me through to you. That's one way. Another way, you look them up in the phone book. You find their phone number and you call them directly on their personal line. Another thing, you go get a different doctor. You transfer instantly. You literally find the next doctor down the street and go. I mean, you don't hesitate. You just go, Lisa. Lisa.
Every gastroenterologist.
I mean, I don't care if you have to go to California. You go find another doctor. Now, this is the thing, Lisa. Back up for a second. I'm not saying you do any of these things. I'm not saying that you camp out for 8 hours in front of the office door. I'm not saying you go find another doctor. I'm just trying to point out that however drastic it is, there are other options. And people refuse to look for the other option. And if you look, I bet you find another way. I bet you find another way, even if you have to grab the lady coming in through the door. Hi. Oh, are you going to see, Dr. Johnson? Okay. Hey, when you're in your visit with Dr. Johnson, here's a note. Could you pass this note to Dr. Johnson for me? I'm one of his patients and they won't let me talk to him. I know it sounds crazy, right? It sounds, I mean, it's like way out there. Maybe you have to do the way out there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe there's some other way. I don't know what that is, but what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get you to that point where you realize that there are other options, and I'm going to look for those other options. I need to talk to the actual surgeon, the actual person. I need to talk to that person, not as staff, not as nurses, not as orderlies or whatever they call them nowadays, technicians. And, you need to talk to him or her, and hopefully you'll find something that's not quite as drastic as what I'm suggesting. But I'm just trying to get you have to open your mind to other possibilities so the universe can put the right people, places, and things in your path to fix this problem. Okay. You're closed up right now. You are that shoot, I lost it now because I put the cards back in the deck. But you are that devil card that you are attached to. This is the only way we could, calling them up on the phone, the office, or going through the my chart messaging is the only way, to communicate with the doctor. And that's just not true. It's that you're unwilling to go the next step. You're unwilling to break free of the attachment, the chains. If you're looking at the devil card, you see the chains around the people's heads, but they're like gigantic. You can just reach up and pull them over their head. It's self-imposed, can't think of the word here, imprisonment or whatever you want to call it. It's all self-imposed. It's all self-imposed. So give that some thought.
Does this all show that I'm going to have this surgery?
I got that feeling. Yeah. I can't say anything for sure, or, go in depth or anything like that, because we're not allowed to diagnose or talk about medical issues in that fashion. It's illegal. We're not allowed to do it. I can only skirt around the issue, but hey, I had cards like, the King of Swords and the Ace of Swords pop up. That often pops up when someone needs to have surgery. So yeah,
I'll tell you, I think the devil card is more around my father died of pancreatic cancer and the surgery killed him. That's where my brain is scared to death right now.
Exactly.
So I think that's what the devil card is.
And you need to talk to the doctor about that. And things are different now, and constant medical advancements, and just because it happened to one person doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. Lots of things like that. But you have to get the straight dope.
Thank you so much, Dax.
You're welcome, Lisa. But you have to get the straight dope from the doctor, from the surgeon themselves. That's why the King of Swords actually showed up there, And for all of you budding tarot readers out there, you get the Three of Swords next to the King of Swords. I mean, heart surgery. Hello. You get the 10 of Swords next to the King of Swords, back surgery. Yes. But see, that's the problem, though, is that it's okay if you're reading for yourself, or you and your best friend are pulling cards or something, but doing it for a paying client is illegal. And even doing it free on air like we're doing it here is illegal. We can't diagnose. We can't say, yes, you're going to have the surgery. No, you're not going to have the surgery. We can't say, yes, it would be best if you did the surgery. We can't talk about outcomes and stuff like that. We can only skirt the issue, situations surrounding a medical treatment, how you feel about it, those kind of things. Okay, but that was a great first call, huh? I thought that was awesome. What's people have been saying in chat? I bet they've been going nuts in here. Yeah. Oh my God. Meta Crazy's writing a book in here. Pancreatic cancer should never be made to wait weeks. I know that's it. That's insane. And there's patient rights too. That there's another angle, Lisa. You go to your lawyer friend and have them send a letter from their legal office on the legal letterhead to the doctor's office saying things about patient rights and stuff like that. Get them scared that you're going to sue them. And then maybe, they'll break down and get working on things. Metacrazy says the offices make it almost unobtainable these days. Be careful too. Doctor offices like to call police department for trespassing. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think they're all that drastic. Some are going to be drastic, some are not. But again, with the second opinion, I mean, there's got to be more than one GI doctor in your state. I mean, come on. Geez, I mean, sometimes in the same building, you walk in and you're in the GI clinic and here's Dr. So-and-so. Well, walk down a couple of steps to the other doctor and knock on their door, and say, hey, I need to see somebody. I'm dying of possibly dying of pancreatic cancer or something, which actually I didn't catch that. I wasn't sure if Lisa said pancreas, but I don't know that she said that it was necessarily cancer. She might have said that and I just missed it in the conversation, because that happens with audio sometimes. It's not like I can check the text like I can in the chat here. But yeah, great suggestions going on there. For instance, Charlotte, is Lisa still on the line? Yeah, she's still listening. So Charlotte says, make sure you document every conversation. I would try to record every conversation. You can put a recorder app on your phone, your iPhone or your Android, and you can record all the conversations. And even if you've already had the conversation, let's say you've already had the conversation, I would do it again. I would call up the office and say, this is Lisa so-and-so. I need to talk to Dr. So-and-so about my case. And then when if they give you the runaround again, at least now you're recording it and you have something to show to the lawyer. I'm not kidding about the lawyer thing. Yeah, I'd be instantly on with that lawyer. I'd be having them contact that doctor's office and say, hey, look, patient's rights, patient's bill of rights. Here's all the things. If her illness gets worse, we're suing you. Yep. And go in and get a baseline. Here's a drastic thing that I know people do. Well, it's not really drastic, but it's people don't often think about it. But yeah, you just go into the ER. And the secret with the ER is you say, chest pains. And I'm also getting this pain around my pancreas. But yeah, chest pains get you seen right away, instantly. And then I could you do an MRI of my pancreas? And get them to do the tests right there in the ER, and you'll get a diagnosis. And also they'll give you a baseline. So that if your case gets worse, guess what? You're going to be suing that surgeon. Yes. Because they didn't give you the proper care in a timely fashion. Yeah. Let's see. Metacrazy said her dad passed away from it. It's genetic. It could be genetic. I'm not going to say it's genetic because I'm not allowed to diagnose. We don't diagnose here, Meta. You can't say things like that. Even if you think it is, even if you look it up on YouTube and look it up on Google, you can't. If you're working with clients, this is not just for Meta, but for everybody out there listening, okay? If you're working with clients and you're not a licensed medical professional, do not say it is genetic. Do not say, oh, I think you are going to have the same problem. Do not say you're going to die from the same thing. And, back in the fortune telling age, and we still have them, we still have fortune tellers out there, they would say stuff like that, like, oh, the death card, and, and then pull the, they get the surgery cards and then they get the death card. Yeah, it's not looking good for you. You can't say that. It's a medical diagnosis. It's illegal. You can't do it. Sorry. But medical neglect, yes, we can say, we sounds like neglect to me. That's not making a diagnosis. That we can say. But man, just, even if you have to call a doctor in another state and tell them, hey, look, I feel like there's medical neglect, but whatever. So what does the pancreas fall under? Would that be gastrointestinal? Would that be a GI doctor? I think so. So this is what you do. You go on the web and you type in your town or the nearest big city. Narrow it down as close as you can. If you have to, put your state, but if you can put, your town, city, and then gastroenterology, just put GI doctors. You're going to get a crap load of GI doctors. There's not one GI doctor where you live, is there? Come on. But even if there is only one, and maybe you're in a small town, hey, the next big city over, there's going to be 50,000 GI doctors. Just start calling them and say, hey, I need an opinion here. I need to know what to do. My GI doctor is giving me the runaround. I feel like it's neglect. I think my pancreas issue is getting worse. What do I do? And at the same time, also contact a medical malpractice lawyer. So you live in Chicago medical malpractice lawyer, or wherever it is you live. Amarillo, Texas, medical malpractice lawyer, and get a hold of one. Anyway. Also, Dan says, it's possible to contact the AMA. These people are licensed. There's a board in your state. There's also the AMA as well. Check this stuff out. Anyway, I know we spent a lot of time on this, but there was two things. One, I'm trying to get it through to Lisa that there are infinite possibilities and doors to open and pathways to go down, and it's infinite. And when we're in the middle of these situations that we call up and call up a psychic or a tarot reader or something like that, we kind of have the blinders on. You ever notice that? We don't see all the other possibilities. That's why this show is great. And not just this show, but all of you in the chat, like Meta Crazy is a nurse, and there's a lot of other people in here that have, had medical situations and have medical knowledge, but it's not just the medical, just common sense. So you come here to the cafe and air your dirty laundry, and we're going to give you ideas, pathways to go down, things to do, things you haven't thought of. Have you thought of typing in your town's name? Like, let's say you live in Benson, Arizona. Type in Benson, Arizona, medical malpractice lawyer. I mean, there are so many pathways to go down. I know we spent a lot of time on this. And then the other side of things is, for my students of my course and members of the Tarot Guild that are turning pro, I want you guys to start thinking about these things, such as medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, because all of those things are covered by licensing. And you, as a tarot reader or a psychic advisor or whatever it is you do, you cannot give advice legally in that area. Now, it's not that it doesn't slip through every once in a while. Like with Lisa, I was not asking the question nor looking for cards talking about whether or not she was going to get surgery, and yet all those surgeries cards showed up, and I can't say they're not there. Yeah. But I personally am not making any kind of diagnosis. Hello, anybody listening to this, I'm telling you right now that I'm not making a medical diagnosis. I'm not telling anybody to get surgery or they need surgery or they will have surgery or the outcome of that surgery. And so, look, I just want everybody to start thinking about that. If you're going to be a professional in this, if you're going to get money for doing sessions with folks, you got to be really careful, really, really careful. Now, it isn't that when we're in the middle of something and a client's going to ask something about a certain project that involves, finances and and yeah, we're going to have to answer certain things which might be, right on the edge or skirting right around the issue there, trying desperately not to go over the line. But sometimes it happens. And, but anyway, I hope that helps out a lot of, budding entrepreneurs that are going to become tarot readers and psychic advisors out there. And I hope Lisa will come back. Lisa from Connecticut, come back and let us know, you know, what you ultimately do, what path you go down that you haven't thought of before this, coming on the show, and let us know the outcome, what happens there. And if you get a new doctor or the current doctor finally talks to you, things like that. And yes, I am going to get to questions in the chat, but I want to take another phone call really quickly. Before I do that, I want to mention what's coming up on the network. I'm going to be on here. I've been here Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to be back on Wednesday, tomorrow, and Thursday. And then hopefully it'll be Compassionate Light after that. And let me see. Compassionate Light with Catherine Hahn should be back this Thursday, although I'm not 100% sure. We didn't hear from her for a while. Then I heard from her yesterday. I don't know what's going on. I know she had those illnesses, but she said she wanted to talk to me today. So I need to get off the show early, actually, so I can try to contact Catherine and see if she's going to be here Friday. I don't know. But Saturday for sure, as long as Michelle has recovered enough, because she had oral surgery last week, hopefully she's recovered enough and she'll be able to do her Michelle's Mystic Corner. And it's the second and fourth Saturdays of the month. So it's going to be the 9th and the 23rd. And I'm going to guest co-host with her this Saturday. Now, if she's a little under the weather still, I'll just do a generic, one of our daily psychic talk shows this Saturday. But I got my fingers crossed that Michelle will be joining us. Yeah. And then on the 10th, I'll be doing a psychic talk daily show, followed by our next Zoom meeting. We're doing live Zoom meetings and Q&As every Sunday now. This is your opportunity to come in and we'll have a discussion and a Q&A on basically anything you want to talk about. It's going to be live via Zoom. You go to psychic.cafe/Zoom. That's all you have to do is write that URL down. And each Sunday I'll swap out, the link for that Sunday. So the psychic.cafe/Zoom will always take you to that Zoom meeting on whatever Sunday it is, right? 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, that's 9 p.m. London. And you can ask your questions about tarot and numerology and psychic development and any of the psychic sciences or the law of attraction or hypnosis or, anything you want to talk about is fair game on these meetings and these Q&As. But also, you can ask about becoming a professional reader, a professional psychic advisor, getting certified, establishing your business on Psychic Cafe. If you have questions about, doing your own website, should I do my own website? And what's the best value and, how to do that if you don't have the time or you don't have, $5,000 to build a website, we have some solutions for you. Getting certified, becoming a pro, becoming a host here on Psychic Talk. You can have a custom show, like Michelle moved into, starting her own show, Michelle's Mystic Corner. So you basically have live radio, live YouTube, YouTube replays, podcasts. It becomes a podcast, goes out all over the podcast networks, Podbean and iTunes, and you name it. It goes out there. Our system through the Psychic Talk network. And you can become a co-host on my daily Psychic Talk shows like I'm doing right now and just pop on when you want as a co-host, or you can have a custom show, and we'll explain all that on these Zoom meetings and Q&As. And this Sunday, the 10th, we also have a workshop. So some of these, we're also going to have a workshop before the Q&A and discussion. So it's going to be Pamela Steele, and her workshop's called Tell Me a Story. We have a PDF handout for you, and it is, I'm going to put the link in the chat here in a second, and it's about the Celtic cross and how she does the Celtic cross, and it's all about learning the Celtic cross. And I'm going to try to put this in right now, https:// psychic.cafe/tell-me-a-story. There it is. That's the link to the PDF. You can grab the PDF, download it before the workshop this coming Sunday. And that is the URL right there. Let me give you that again. It's psychic.cafe/tell-me-a-story, but there's a dash between each of the words. So tell-me-a-story. Psychic.cafe/tell-me-a-story. There we go. And who's that? Private name just popped in. Are you still doing free reading? Yes. Just type in your question, private. Type in the question, or if you want like some general message or something, say, please pull a card for me. And I take them in the order that they're put in. And if I have time, I will get to it. If I don't have time, basically, I'll be back tomorrow. But also, don't forget, you can go over to psychic.cafe/coffee, buy me a cup of coffee, and guess what? We take your question first. Right away, no waiting, and I spend more time with you. Like lately, it's been like double the time. Psychic.cafe/coffee. Let us know in the chat if you buy me a cup of coffee. That's how we know. And then we will jump you to the top of the caller queue or take your question first in chat. Yes. So yes, that's coming up on Sunday. Did want to mention the Angelic View will be back for the second show this month, the 17th. Back on the 17th. And our sale is going on through March. And I got the new banner here with the shamrocks and everything for St. Patty's. It's still 75% off. What's the lifetime membership? Well, you get no recurring fees because you're signed up for life. It's normally $297, but it's 75% off right now. So it's just one payment of $78, which is the number of cards in the tarot deck. Or if you need a little help with that, we'll split it into two payments. So it's two payments of $39. One now, one a month from now. And you are signed up for life. No recurring fees, paid up for life. And you get all of our panel discussions, workshops, live Q&As, and you get to be a guest co-host on our shows. We'll also do interviews of you. We'll promote you and your business. You get my Tarot by the Numbers, Tarot and Numerology course, 100% free. That's a $297 course. You also get your certification free, which is normally two payments of $67 or one payment of $124. So you're saving literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And it's just 2 payments, $39. Come on, can't beat it. Psychic.cafe/sale. And my readings are 50% off. You scroll down below the lifetime membership information on that sale page, you'll see where you can book a reading with me for $49.99. That's $50 off. Normally $99.99, 50% off right now. Psychic.cafe/sale. That's right. Okay. So I'm going to go, let's see. I got a bunch of callers on here, but nobody has their hand raised. Okay. So callers, if you've called in and you're in the queue, make sure you press 1 on your dial pad. That lets us know you want to be live on air. If you're just listening to the show, don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything. Just listen. So you can call in, folks, at 714-816-4628 and just listen to the show. But if you want to be live on air with me, dial in at 714-816-4628 and press 1 on the dial pad. Okay, I got a few minutes left. I got to get out of here, though, because I need to talk to Catherine, try to get a hold of Catherine. Let's see. Nicholas said, Dax, I pulled some cards for her. I don't know who her is. Who were you pulling cards? Was it for Lisa? Tell her to try sweetening up her life a little bit. I'm not sure what you mean about that, but if you pop that in the chat, that sounds interesting. Let me scroll back all the way back and see who had a question. So Venti, I remember that, wanted to know, why is John acting so strange towards me? Oh, interesting. Okay, so the card of the day, Queen of Swords, shows up, and it's facing the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands, here's him, and he's being all fire energy, following his passions, being all energetic here. And here you are, boom, like that, and everything I said applies from the beginning of the show when I said, card of the day and the different attributes of the Queen of Swords. So are you going at this analytically? Basically it's saying, not what your heart thinks, but what does your mind think? What's it telling you about why John is acting strange? Is John a romantic interest? Because he seems like, he's looking, I'm looking at the cards here, and like he's like literally he's looking right at you, and he's got that fiery energy there. He's got that wand. It's actually like a staff, or in this case, maybe like a club, and gosh, I am not sure. I'm getting all this 4 energy. So like structure and foundation, and the 4 of Cups. Somebody, either him or you, are not like happy with what you've got going, and there's another opportunity being offered, but you're either unaware of it, or you're just not seeing it, or it hasn't quite come in yet. And the 4 of Pentacles, which is often about holding on to things, your financial investments, things along those lines. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm really not getting a straightforward answer unless somebody in chat has an idea about these cards. But it looks like, especially because we got we got the card of the day, which is great. I love when that happens and it shows up. So the Queen of Swords, that's telling me that you need to look at it more analytically, and maybe you're letting fantasy run away with you. Maybe you're fantasizing what it means, and maybe it doesn't mean as much as you think it means. or maybe it means more than what you think it does. I don't know, but it's like you have an illusion around it, and it's not exactly what you think. Okay, let's do a little shuffling here. Let's see what other questions we got going on. Yeah, I scrolled all the way back to the beginning to see if I didn't want to miss any questions here. I hate, because you're doing the show, it's really hard to follow along in the chat. Charlotte and I were talking about that yesterday after yesterday's show because we had a ton of people in chat, and it was really hard following along. Like for instance, Charlotte said that would certainly open the door to some interesting questions. And I'm not even sure about what we were talking about at that moment. Yes, you can never go wrong with Star Wars and the Force. Yes, that's when I was showing her my trust me, I'm a Jedi. I think this is perfect for tarot readers, by the way, and psychic advisors. Trust me, I'm a Jedi. Trust me, I'm a psychic advisor. Maybe we need shirts. Question. So Bhumika says, I've unfollowed Yash on from Instagram. Did he notice? If yes, how did he feel about it? Will he send me the follow request again? Well, this falls into the realm of things that we've talked about many times on the show when these kind of questions come up. I'm getting all kinds of hearts. Thanks for all the hearts, whoever's sending the hearts out. Yay. I love when they do that. How are these questions actually going to answer anything or help you? And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that to get you to start thinking about things. Will he send me the follow request again? Well, I don't know. Look at your Instagram and see if he sends the follow request. Do you want him to send the follow request? If you want him to send you a follow request, why did you unfollow him? This almost falls into what I'm not a psychologist, but passive aggressive. It's like, oh, I'm having an issue, so I'm just gonna or I don't know what he's doing or what he's thinking, so I'm just gonna unfollow him and see what happens. That's passive aggressive. Okay. You don't have to be a rocket science or psychologist to understand that process. This is the thing, if you're having a problem with Yash, if you're not understanding what he's doing, or if you're wondering something but you're not sure, go ask him. Don't ask a tarot reader. It's not that I won't pull cards on these kind of things, but you've asked similar questions on this show multiple times now, and we've pulled cards on it already, and I told you what the answers were. So the only step after that is to actually go talk to the person. And what did they call this in the 80s or 90s, guys? Hard love or something, tough love, something like that, was all the rage back then. It's like, yeah, on these shows, I need to do a little tough love, I think. I love pulling cards, and I love life coaching with people, and I love the shows, and I love the callers, and I love the people in the chat and asking questions and stuff like that. But and I'm not afraid to pull cards on anything, but I always give a caveat, that I'll pull cards on that, but I don't know that that's going to help, kind of thing. But also, like with Bhumika, who's been a regular here for many, 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 many shows, and has asked something about Yash at least 3 or 4 other times. There gets to a point where we cut off, where we say, look, I've already pulled cards on it. I've already told you what the card said, and I don't even remember. I mean, how many hundreds of questions do we answer on here? And then my private sessions with clients and things like that, and like I can't remember everything everybody asked, and I don't take notes, and I don't record things, unless I'm with a paying live client. I will record it for them. And then, of course, these are all recorded. So you can go back and listen. I'm not going to go back and listen to everybody's, questions and answer what were the answers on there and everything like that. So what did the card say when I pulled cards about Yash for you, Bhumika? Did it say to move on? Possibly. And things like, will he send a friend request? That's like, is James gonna unfriend me? I don't know. How's that in the cards? I mean, yeah, I could do a yes no on it, but I mean, come on. Check your social and see if he unfriended you. That's how you know if he unfriended you or is going to unfriend you. Just watch your account. This is not rocket science. This does not require tarot cards. Okay. Similarly, but the opposite, will he send me a follow request? Well, wait and see. Why'd you unfollow him in the first place? Unless it's, again, passive aggressive. It's like, come on. That's a little. Anyway, Dan said, can they grab a cup of coffee for assistance too? Yeah, well, we'll have to work on that. Wouldn't it be cool if we were making enough money to do that? Currently, the only way to do that is you're going to have to come on and be a co-host, Dan. But are you ready to like take people's questions and answer them? That's my question. Anyway, Paul had a question, I think. I'm thinking of writing my life book, but then I don't. Is that good or bad? Well, I don't know. What do you think? Most of us have some, interesting stories. Do you have something interesting? Let me go over to the phone lines. Oh, shoot. We lost our phone lines again, folks. We lost our callers. Uh, if you just got hung up on, dial in 714-816-4628. I was just going to go to calls and they dropped off. This is what I mean about people not having any patience. It's like maybe it's a good thing because I do need to get out of here. It's already after 1. And I was trying to keep it to an hour today because I did 2 full hours yesterday, and I need to, get a hold of Catherine. But do you have something really interesting? When you say life book, I'm assuming you're talking about like, I don't know, your memoirs or your autobiography or something like that. So let's take a look at that and see what comes up. Okay. I'm getting a lot of 5 cards. So I don't know. Like, of course everybody can do their book. Everybody can do their autobiography or their memoirs. Now, as far as it being like something successful, if you're not a famous person, and there's a lot of competition. That's what that's saying. And you're not going to be happy with the outcome. Not going to be happy with the outcome. And again, a lot of competition. Getting all these cards, Now, if you just do it for yourself, that's a different story. First, make it educational. The Hierophant says, can this book be educational? Then it'll have more value. Then it'll be better. Queen of Cups is, talking about your emotional feeling around this, that if you just stick to, I want to get my story out there and not worry about, other things, it'll be better. It'll be better. The Wheel of Fortune then suggests, Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor, and the Ten of Pentacles. It's a great way to leave legacy. Legacy is not just, your investments and money and your houses and everything, your cars and boats and things you're leaving to your family. Legacy is also the story of your life and the story of other people connecting with you in your life. For instance, like a history of your family tree going back a certain distance. You don't want to put everything in a book. When it's your book, your memoirs, and your autobiography, you don't want to go too deep or too far back, but put some information so that your children and your grandchildren and your grandchildren's children, can read that and go, oh wow, this is where we come from. And it's an awesome legacy to leave for your family. So that's Paul, that's what I'm getting on that. I think it's great. I think everybody should do that, especially if you already have family, kids, grandkids, or if you have no kids, but you have, let's say, you have a brother or sister and you've got nieces and nephews, and then they have kids. And you could write a book that, not only tells your story, but fills in the blanks for your nieces and nephews and their kids, and even for your siblings, because they might not know all the answers, and it'd be really cool if you could flesh that all out for them. So that's what I'm getting on that. Charlotte said, I like how Lisa whispered, doctors being jackasses. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this was the Lisa time here. I'm still scrolling through looking for the next question. I apologize if I missed something, because it's like a lot of text here. Ooh. Oh, and Ruzika, I remember when Ruzika came in. Hi, will he contact me, Sasha? Okay, so are you Sasha or is he Sasha? And I'm just going to go with will he contact me kind of thing. Do you want him to contact you? I always ask stuff like that. Like when people come to me, will I get married? Well, do you want to get married? When will I get married? Well, are you going to get married? Do you want to get married? Okay. Very interesting. All right. So wish come true card right out of the gate. Yeah. I think Sasha might contact you. I really do. Eight of Swords. 8 is abundance, another good sign, but it's the 8 of Swords, being surrounded by thoughts and ideas, blindfolded and bound up, But if you look really close, the figure in the card could just wriggle her arms up and down a little bit, and those bonds would just, whatever's tying her up there would just, fall down, and she could pull the blindfold off and see the way out from in between all those swords. And that's just being trapped by your own thoughts and ideas. So basically, are you overthinking this, Ruzik? And it's interesting because the 9 of Cups is a 9 card, and I got the Hermit card. In fact, that's the only major arcana card, which is suggesting getting some advice from other people. And it's interesting because, the Hermit is shining his light of wisdom on the 8 of Swords. And 9 is endings. This is 9 too. So sometimes it's especially with the 9 of Cups, which is literally referred to in our circles as the wish come true card. And it's because it's fulfillment. 9, that's when everything comes together, right? But it's also about what you can let go of that no longer serves you. And you may need to talk to somebody close to you, somebody that, a disinterested party that isn't going to be like, caught up in your emotional hangups, and they can give you the straight skinny, right? And then the 3 of Cups shows up. And whenever that shows up in these kind of questions, it usually means that you're overthinking things and you need to get out there and just party. You need to let your hair down. You need to dance and drink wine or drink something alcoholic and frolic and everything like that, and it's girls' night out. You need to stop overthinking all of that is what I'm getting. Oh God, it's 1:15 already. Oh, let's see. Oh, got a phone call, 916. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? 916.
Hello, how are you?
Pretty good.
My name is Christy. I'm calling. Very good. My name is Christy, and I'm calling from California.
California. My favorite place.
Those are the parties.
I miss San Diego. Oh my God. I lived 8 years in San Diego. I totally miss that. Of course, I lived many years in San Francisco too. And I miss San Francisco, but I don't miss like the current San Francisco, Christy. I miss San Francisco from the 1990s. San Francisco in the 1990s
Yes, I
was
agree.
fantastic, but not now. Now it's an overpriced hellhole.
It is very overpriced, especially parking. You can't. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
It's
I know.
okay,
When I moved to San Francisco,
nice. I like those.
When I first moved there in the 90s, the first thing I did was get rid of my car because it was just ridiculous. I ended up just walking everywhere.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. It's horrible. It's unreal.
Yeah. So, what'd you call in for today? What's going on?
No. I don't know. Are you able to, like, if I ask you to do that, and what can I do?
Chrissy.
I mean, is that okay
Chrissy.
for somebody else?
Christy.
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I got to break in because you are breaking up really badly. I cannot make out what you're talking about at all.
Oh. Okay. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Now you sound fine.
Okay,
so
sorry.
Now start over
I apologize.
again. That it's not your fault. It's the technology.
Okay.
So start over again, and what's your question?
Like, my question is my son like going to be okay? He's going through something. I'm not sure what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that not okay because it's about somebody else? Does it have to be about myself or no?
Well, I mean, we don't like to do. It depends on how it's worded. Who are the people involved? When
He's
it's
just going through something, and I'm not sure what it is.
Right. And when it's family, that's different. We tend not to want to do what we call psychic peeping toming. When it's when it's third parties that we don't really have anything to do with, but when it's son or daughter or something like that, that's not the same thing. Hold on.
Yeah, and I don't want to know what's going on. Okay.
It looks like everything's going to be okay.
Okay.
Now I got the 5 of Cups, so that may be how he's feeling. he's crying. It's the crying over spilt milk card. Maybe he's, crying over spilt milk when, all the figure has to do in the card is turn around and there's two upright cups right behind him. It's the river of life there and a bridge crossing over to his goal. And he's just not seeing the way to the goal. It's a frustration. It's, there's something.
Yeah.
There's something going on. I don't know what exactly, but there's something going on. Right after that is the Lover's card.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know.
Which means what?
I don't know.
What does the Lover's card mean?
I don't know.
Oh.
No, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, if I had to guess that the Lover's card traditionally is about choices. But it can literally be talking about relationships also. Is he having problems with someone, like in that area?
He just got out of a relationship not too long ago. I think he wants to find one to settle down with, which is just,
Yeah.
And
now,
I think he's so lonely in that sense.
But then I get the King of Pentacles being in a good position there. And then the Emperor and the Four of Pentacles, which are both 4 cards. The number 4 in numerology is structure. It's like, as far as that part of his life, it looks like it's in a good place. So I don't think it's that, Now, before I pulled these cards, I was shuffling and I got the Heart of the Matter card, and that's the 6 of Cups. And this is talking about you. This is the nostalgia card. And it's got the 2 kids on there, and the boy is handing a bouquet to the girl that's slightly younger than him. And it's nostalgia. Now, 6 is good because that's a success number in numerology. But this is the overarching problem, not problem, but this is what's going on. Okay. You're still stuck with, whether it's conscious or subconscious, you're still stuck with the nostalgic memories of your son as a boy, as opposed to real life and relationships and things like that, and we want to, this card pops up when we want to protect people in our families, and be the nurturer and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm not saying it's terrible.
No, I just learned to back off because
I'm sorry. You're breaking up again, Christy.
I've learned to back off.
What'd you say? You learned to back off?
Yeah, because he doesn't like it pushing it, so I just learned to back off and leave it open,
Exactly. So that's what this card is talking about. It's not so much him, it's you. Right?
I'm worried.
But then when I pulled cards for is he going to be okay, it's leaning yes, because I'm getting 1, 2, 3 yeses out of 5. So it's not a strong yes yet. There's something left to be done, but it's leaning towards he's going to be okay, but are you going to be okay? Because the nostalgia card. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be okay. I have my own issues. Who knows? I just got to figure myself out too. Wow.
Yep, that's what it's saying. It's more about you.
Thank you.
But thanks for the call. That was a great call.
Thank you. Thank you
Chris.
so much.
Now you have to call back and let us know what happens. We're dying to know. Okay. So I pretty much have to get out of here. Amara came in. Hi, Amara. What's happening with Mike? I don't know. What's happening with Mike? Amber, I'm sending you some love and a hug, a reminder it's okay to be sad. Just be sure not I must have missed something because I did not see the sad stuff. You know, all I Charlotte, all I'm seeing is Amara saying what's happening with Mike. How did you get the whole like something's happening and sadness and I don't know. There must have been more of this conversation that I'm missing. Let me scroll back the other way. This is what I'm talking about. It's it was worse yesterday. Trying to keep up with stuff here. Need some clarification, she said. All around what? My life's falling apart. I'm struggling. And what's going on with Mike? It's a comment right after I said hi. I'm sorry for everybody listening on audio. You're not seeing us, going through all of the chat and trying to figure this stuff out, Oh God. Daxie, you are definitely living the card of the day. That's right. I've been like Queen of Swords, ruthless all day long. And hey, sometimes people need that. And then, yeah, I already read that part. I need some clarification in my life all around. Hello, Charlotte. My life's falling apart. I'm struggling. Yeah, but you're not giving me enough information to work with. What's going on and what do you need solved? What's the question? And then private name asked, will I get the job? So, we'll look at that in a minute. But I'm going to pull cards on Amra and see what comes up. And then over here, will I get the job? Okay, I'm getting yes. I got the 10 of wands. I can't see if I'm doing that right. 10 of wands and 4 swords suggesting to me yes. But the 10 of swords is showing steady progress towards your goal, which is finding the job. But this is the overburden card, and sometimes too many irons in the fire. Okay, so are you focused on getting that job? Not any job. That's this. This is any job, but getting that job. You see, that's what the universe wants. The universe wants you to get focused on one thing. Also, it wants you to, with that 4 of swords, it wants you to step back and think outside the box and get outside of your comfort zone. And maybe go into jobs, look into jobs, apply to jobs that you would never normally apply to. That's what I'm getting. Hope that helps you out, private. And struggling financially, yes. So, if what you're doing right now is not working, got to do something different. Okay. So instead of pressing on, step back, take a deep breath, look at the big picture, and then think it through before you apply. But it looks good. I got 2 yes cards on that. I didn't even pull the whole thing because right away I got yes. It's like, okay. And then, okay, so with Amara, we got the 8 of cups. 8 is abundance and prosperity, and we're in a world year of that. All these, I don't know what all's going on with you. I'm going to see what you're typing in there. I know you mentioned Mike, you mentioned your life falling apart. really, we have the opportunity to make anything we want this year. The world year number is 8, abundance and prosperity. If we get in alignment with that and go for what we really want, it's all going to fall into place. But you have to be focused on what is that picture. And when I say the picture, the visualization, it's not just what it looks like. It's the 5 sensory, 360-degree immersive visualization. So as if you're there now. What does it sound like, smell like, feel like, taste like, the whole, look like, the whole gambit? This, create the visualization of the way you want things to be. You say your life is in disarray, and I don't know all the details. I don't need to know them, because you're focused on that right now. You're not focused on how you want your life to be. Okay. And that's what this card's talking about. You got to let go of that emotional, you got to leave the emotional baggage behind, and then leave and move onward and upward to better things. And that's really all we need. But I did pull other cards and got the 2 of Swords. So there is some kind of decision that you are either unable to make or unwilling to make. And you're not going to be able to progress forward until you make that decision. The Empress says using your creativity and communication, that's that 3 energy. And the Empress is about literally giving birth to something. You're ready to manifest. But you have to do those other things first. See, that the Empress comes after the 8 of Cups. You've gotten rid of all the emotional baggage. This is happening to me. Woe me. Whatever's going on with Mike, et cetera, whoever Mike is. And then 2 of Swords, you got to make the decision you don't want to make. And then start manifesting your life the way you want it to be. And then the Knight of Cups comes in. So let's see what's going on in the chat here real quick. Amara, are you asking about your relationship with Mike? Charlotte said, my dad's got cancer. My mom's living with me because of a toxic life. Mike ghosted me because he had his own family stuff. I can't catch a break. Yeah, sometimes it just feels like that. And sometimes you just got to take a step back. You're not going to fix all those things, right? Most of them don't even deal with you. I mean, you think it deals with you because you're on the receiving end, but or on the edge of it, or the cursory, it. But it's really, yeah, it affects you, but it's not you. Your dad has cancer, that affects you, but it's not you that got the cancer. It's dad. Mom having a toxic life and having to come stay with you, it affects you, but it's not you. It's mom. It has nothing to do with you. Yes, it has something to do with you. It's your mom, but you get what I'm saying. All these things are things in your life that are not of you and your life that you can't really do anything about. So you just have to step back, accept, and then decide, regardless of Mike ghosting me, regardless of my mom having toxic relationship and life issues and having to move in with me, regardless of my dad having cancer, and regardless of everything else going wrong in your life, this stuff I can't change. What can I change? You're like, how do I want my life to be? So you compartmentalize all those things going on, all these emotional things with all these other people and all of their issues. You compartmentalize them so you can move forward. You make that decision that you have to make, but you don't want to make, but you need to. And then as soon as you get that taken care of, focus on what you want your life to be, and get really creative. That's that 3 energy: creativity and communication. Get creative and manifest how you want your life to be, regardless if that the rest of that stuff gets resolved or it keeps going on, and then the Knight of Cups comes in. Now that might be Mike coming back. Let's see, water sign. So it's the water signs again. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Is he a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces? If not, this is a new person coming in. New person. And Amber says, oh my goodness, that's exactly what I needed. Yes. We get too focused on the lack, the issues, which often have nothing to do with us, and other things affecting us that are from other people. And we want to change all that because that'll make our life better. No, it won't. It's a cognitive mistake we make. Okay. You can't change how other people feel about you, like Mike, him ghosting you, whatever. You can't change your dad's cancer. You can't change your mom's toxic issues with her relationships or life. You can't change what your coworkers doing, your boss is doing. You can't change that. We think, my life would be better if I didn't have that. So we want to solve that or figure out some way. No, that's not it. No. We don't make our life better by making their lives better or resolving those issues or getting rid of those. We make our life better by making our life better. That's it. That's the answer. That is how reality actually works. You need to decide, this is my 5 sensory, 360 degree, 5 sensory visualization of what I want my life to be like. Yes, dad still has cancer. Mom's living with me. I don't know what happened to Mike and all this other stuff, but I'm going to create this thing that's positive. Whatever that is. I mean, I can't tell you what that is. You have to figure that out, But that is the secret. The secret is, regardless of everything else going on, which you don't have any control over, manifest what you want. That job, that good relationship, the project you wanted to start, the nonprofit that you wanted to create, the business you wanted to launch, and make that successful. And going full bore, full forward into what we want our life to be like is how you do it. But when we are focused on this other stuff, we can't manifest that. That's why 8 of Cups came up. And by the way, that's why it's an 8 card. People ask me that all the time. They say, but the emotions in the 8 of Cups, because I'm telling them, 8 is abundance and prosperity in numerology. How can this, or the 8 of Swords is another good example. How can the 8 of Swords be abundance and prosperity? How can the 8? Not because what's in the card is it, but because it is telling you, it's giving you the clue of what to do to get abundance. So I got that 8 of Swords earlier. Overthinking things, too many thoughts and ideas, not thinking there's a way out when there really is. Remember, I said she could just wriggle her way out of those bonds, take off the blindfold, and see the way out from amongst all those swords, and the clue always with that many swords, you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 swords. The clue is always to get down to one sword. whether you have to put everything else on the back burner or whatever. Likewise, with this card is telling you that all that stuff that has emotions attached to it, that baggage, you've got to put that in the past and let go of that baggage. And like the traveler, this is the traveler. He's got his traveling cloak on, his traveling stick, and his traveling boots, and he's moving, or she is moving onward and upward up the hill, leaving all this behind. That's how you get to abundance, by leaving all that behind and making the decisions you need to make. Okay. Wow. It's 3:40. I got 1:40 here. I got to get out of here. This is a ton of fun. Yes. Oh, Nick pulled cards for Amara. This situation may seem impossible to handle now, but I know it's unlikely to repeat. Just believe in yourself. That's absolutely true. So Amara, yeah, just follow along and come back and let us know, what are you visualizing? What are you going to manifest in your life? And thanks everybody for being here. I had an awesome time. I'll be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Remember to buy me a cup of coffee. Go over to psychic.cafe/coffee. And then if I didn't get your call today, I didn't get your question today in chat, after the show here, go over to psychic.cafe/coffee, send me a cup of coffee, message me on psychic.cafe on my page, psychic.cafe/Dax, and say, hey, Dax, I just bought you a cup of coffee. My name is Mark, area code 712. And I'll call in tomorrow. And guess what? I'm going to start the show and do absolutely nothing but go right to your call or your question in chat. That's the secret. That's how you do it. Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow.